Okay, before we get started with today's video, a few things. 1. I'm now with TGN. Yep, one of the biggest networks out there. Mind you, I'm well aware of the things said about them, but I've got my own reasons why I'm going with them. Which leads into number 2. I'm going to be doing more video game reviews now. While I'll still do my typical cartoon and movie reviews, I have a few things to say about quite a few games on hand. And finally, number 3, I'm remaking a lot of my reviews. I'm giving a number of them a bit of a second look, some requested it quite a bit. This is also due to the fact that I had to unlist a large amount of my own videos. This is due in no small part to some legal mumbo jumbo that pertains again in no small part to item number 1. Anyways, on to Death Road to Canada. I've got to ask, what is it with putting zombies into the Oregon Trail? I mean, in 2013 we had the game Oregon Trail. It's a decent game, but I found it quite bare. A little too similar to the original Oregon Trail games. And then we have 2016's Death Road to Canada, a game made by Mad Garden and Rocket Cat Productions. As I mentioned, this is essentially Oregon Trail with zombies, except you're given a hell of a lot more options. Also, this game gets freaking random. What do I mean? Well, one key difference between this and the aforementioned games is the fact that you only start with 2 party members, recruiting up to 2 more as you continue on, for a maximum of 4 party members. Now I tend to play this on rare characters only mode. This means that only the rare characters show up, obviously. I'm jumping ahead of myself a little bit here, but here are 3 characters I came across in past playthroughs. First off is the Clown. He doesn't really do much, and the game even questions why you'd recruit him. This is because if his morale hits 0, you get put into a special siege, kinda like a horde mode, where you fight off against zombie clowns. Then there's Jason Voorhees, who hits like a dump truck, but over time your party members seem to go missing. I wonder why, it's an absolute mystery. The final one I want to point out here is the Anime Girl. She clearly takes cues from Sailor Moon, an anime I've made no secret that I love, but, well, again, she hits like a semi, but with each day she transforms. The first day she looks somewhat normal. Day 2, she's a grown-up chibi moon. Day 3, yikes! That is disturbing! She looks like a chibi moon figure that melted. Don't worry, you don't have to endure this phase for long. She explodes the next day. This does hurt your other teammates, so be very, very careful. Another key change is that you can create custom characters. I always start with 2 characters, Yuka and Archer. Time for a bit of explaining. I'm a screenwriter in college, and one of my main projects is an original superhero team. Yuka is a bit of a no-nonsense cynic with the ability to create and control fire. While Archer, who my YouTube persona is actually named after, enjoys the persona of a madman while being very collected deep down, coupled with telepathy and energy beams. And in my head, he has the voice of JonTron. I like JonTron. I just love putting these 2 characters together. Not exactly as a couple, but more as a buddy cop type of thing. I make this point because in my past run-throughs of this game, their personalities are flipped. Yuka is the more excitable one. Let's say she's voiced by Tamashii Hiroka. And Archer is the stick in the mud. With that said, let's take a look at one of my runs of the game. Oh, this is gonna be terrible. Now, the reason why we're going to Canada is that it's rumored that Canada is a safe haven during this zombie apocalypse. We're given a multiple choice as into where to go first. I always go with this rest stop, but this abandoned house will do just fine. Yuka, being a leader, carries a hatchet, which does some decent damage. I, on the other hand, have a frying pan. This is your brain on drugs, bitch! We loot the place clean, finding food, gas and toilets, don't ask, and even some bullets before we make a leave. I decide to spend an entire night tinkering at a junk shop because sleep is for the weak. We stop off at a restaurant for some burgers, fries, and brains, but then we hit a bit of a problem. Seems like a giant fissure cracked in the road ahead of us. We can go around it, we can just stop the car and think things through, or we could just gun it, throw caution to the wind. That works too. We shouldn't stop anymore. We should keep on driving. Yuka! We just jumped a massive gap in an SUV. At this point, why should we stop now? The group is asked for help by a settlement. Okay, that's a good reason. We try to help them in a shoot. The bandits drive everyone out of the settlement, and both of us get hurt. Should have kept going, but bleeding hearts of the world unite. We then run into a trading camp, but I rarely stop at these things because they cost food, which I need to keep my party from going into despair. I know I probably lose about 95% of my games because of it, but ignore! And then out of nowhere, we have to help this chick stuck in a Godzilla outfit, who we end up recruiting. Did I forget to mention that this game is freaking insane? Right then. It's a good thing we did recruit her though, as there's a siege immediately following. It's in a cabin which we immediately loot. I switched to a rubber mallet because I figured that bunking the zombies on the noggin was better than serving them fried eggs. After surviving, we get a skill boost as well as a point to spend on future perks. And immediately after that, we get stuck in a fire. Okay, I love this. Yuka, the pyrokinetic, steps up and leads all three of us through thanks to her many plans on fire safety. That's very fitting, I'm actually impressed. We then pick up a defenseless little doggy because you're a complete kaiju if you don't pick up defenseless little doggies. Soon after that, our car runs out of gas, leaving us to walk. You know what? Now's a good time to talk about one of the things about this game that I love. The soundtrack. There's the tune Lootin' Away, which is really cool. I love the rigor mortis rag, but the song that plays as the car is abandoned, Frankenstein Goes to Jamaica, and I am not kidding, that is the actual title, perfectly sums up the feeling of womp womp. Typically that means very, very bad news, but immediately after that we come across this tunnel that leads to another car. We endure another siege where I begin to wonder, we're lost, aren't we? Car abandoned. Looks like it. So time to go through another super dark tunnel to find another car. It's so dark we can't see Goddess Zilla get eaten alive. Yes, Kaiju, that's her name by the way, is our first casualty, and spoiler alert, she's not the last. Another sleepless night and seriously? That's car number 3 that got abandoned. Jeez, this player is absolutely horrendous. Wait, that's me. I'm absolutely horrendous! Anyway, we find another car, and this time we make sure there's enough fuel to last at least 2 miles. Our campsite that we set up is suddenly invaded by a moose. Since we didn't have any guns to shoot the damn thing, I attempted to actually heal it. It didn't work out too well. Yeah, apparently I'm not a vet. I then get the opportunity to teach mechanic skills. I had no idea what I was saying, but at least it made me feel good. After we loot a Walmart and lose another car, that's 4 in case you're counting, we get attacked by bandits. Yuka, being the leader, tries to defend us, but gets a little hurt in the process. We find another car parked outside a cabin, but the inside is filled to the brim with walkers. Yuka tries to squeeze through when she finally falls. The dog also got it, but I was able to make it out. Only for the van to run out of gas immediately after I leave. I'm going through these things like water. Then it rains, matching my current mood. But don't worry, I find another tunnel with another car I'll likely ditch later on again. This is starting to get to me. Not me personally, my game avatar. I'm loving the crap out of this. I recruit this purple-haired peep named... Okay, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. And wouldn't you know it, my car ran out of gas again! Yeah, morale's kinda in the toilet, but I immediately find car number 7 as well as a new recruit, Mai. She's a healer, and damn do I need one. I find a gun in a rest shop, which, if you're concerned, don't be. Ah, damn it! Just slammed my hand in the car door. On top of that, I kicked the tires so hard it caused me to stub my toe. I blew a gasket! This game has it out for me! So why the hell am I laughing this damn hard? Anyway, I recruit this dingus named Slade. He shouldn't be that much trouble. Regardless, after swapping cars again, that's 8, by the way, our morality decays to the point where Alphabet Soup is kicked out. Immediately after that, we're thrust into another siege, and afterwards, okay, I've gotta say it, Slade's been poking me inside with his knife annoyingly for the last 3 hours, so what if I threw his baseball bat out the window? It doesn't mean he has the right to poke me with a sharp weapon for 3 hours straight! Yeah, I bet this whole zombie apocalypse was due to him. The group spends so much effort arguing with each other that they don't notice that they've driven into the middle of an overwhelming sea of zombies. Well, I feel like an ass. On top of that, this siege will last 2 in-game hours. Shit, I died. I'm gonna regret saying this, but go, Slade! Get Mai out of there! You with your chunk of wood! Damn it, Slade! And that was Death Road to Canada. You wanna know what I did immediately after my entire team wiped? I played again. Yeah, this is one of those games where I know I'm horrible at it, but I don't care. I love playing this game because I love how insane it can get. I know there's a hell of a lot of stuff I could have spoiled for you guys in this video, but frankly, I haven't seen enough to spoil. There is so much more to this game, and I can't recommend it enough. It's an easy 9 out of 10. Get it now, you won't regret it. Well, thanks for sticking with me through this ride. If you like this video, hit subscribe for more, click the little bell icon once you do that, and give this video a comment and a like. I'll see you guys next time. Damn it, Slade!